Welcome to Foot Bold Analysis. Bold as in you understand, and of course I try to be as bold and straightforward as possible. Having said that, while I'm here in the bubble of the ISL, Indian Super League, I am trying to contribute from my side and try to use my time as good as possible, and I will do some analysis on certain games. I will not choose every game, but to try to pick some games that would be interesting to analyze. I cannot use any video material, therefore I will use animations, and I will only look into key moments in the game. Also, I want to try to keep it as short as possible and be as objective as possible. So I'm not going to fill in the way how I would find solutions or do things. Of course, I will here and there give some ideas on how I would do it, but at the same time I try to be as objective as possible, and hopefully as a supporter or anyone who's watching can do his benefit with it. Let's dive right into it, to the analysis, and hopefully you enjoy. Cheers. All right, we're going to have a look at yesterday's game, Odisha against Hyderabad, where I'm mainly going to focus on Odisha, because Hyderabad, they did well, as in they had a good result, but the biggest part of that result, I think, was due to lack of a good performance of Odisha. Now let's start. We always start with, of course, the basic lineup. Both teams played a 4-2-3-1. Both teams also had the absence of foreigners. Their quota was both 4 foreigners only. That, of course, always has an influence. Now, what is key here for Odisha is, first, we're going to look at Marcelinho, the position of the role that he played, and in this case Onwu, they had a huge influence on the game, where I say, let me say it like this, Odisha plays with 3 strikers, 3 attacking players. So how to fit them together is a huge puzzle. And from the beginning, before the game started, when I saw that Onwu was playing on the left side, I predicted that is I don't think that's going to work. I even predicted that if Hyderabad is going to score a goal, it will be probably from that side. Somehow Onwu will be involved, and that even happened. I guess I was lucky. Now let's stick into what exactly the issue was. Issue number 1 for Odisha, there were 2 things that were not well organized for Odisha. Issue number 1 was that whenever there is a build-up from Hyderabad, now because Onwu is not a winger, that means if I would be the opponent coach, tell my right wing back to keep on making overlaps, because that means you need to follow him. That is not his quality. That means he has to make run back every time. Onwu, you will lose all the power. You need a specific winger in order to fulfill that problem. Now the second thing is that if you look at the 2 strikers, or the striker and behind the striker, they have a responsibility to fill. That if the center back here has the ball of Hyderabad, one striker will try to press him, and if somehow they change side, then in this case Marcelino has to step out and is responsible for the other center back. Now, because Marcelino, and I don't blame him, that is something, that puzzle that you need to fit, is not really active in these things. So what you will see is if the striker goes and you don't have enough pressure on the ball, or there is no clear responsibility, then you have a problem. You see here in the example I give, also Onwu, because he's a striker, also stepped in a few times on the center back. So you already get a disorganization, or a desorganization, I don't know what the correct English word there is. And what you will get is ball go to the midfield and somehow goes to the side, and from there you will get that overlap, and Onwu has to follow all the way back. So without that it fully succeeded for Hyderabad, but that is, for instance, a problem that I saw, that Onwu sometimes stepping in, or that Marcelino is not fully pressing forward, and that gave Hyderabad a lot of chance to still play from the back some build-up, and that had more to do with the not correct organization for Odisha. So let's have a look at an example. As I said before, I can't use video, so I have to do it with screenshots. So you can see here, ball will go to the center back to center back. So in this case, Marcelino has to step out because the other striker is here on this side. Marcelino is stepping out here in this situation. The ball will go to the midfield, see how much space he gets. But you can see here how much time he gets to control the ball. You also right away see Marcelino already stopped. So what needs to happen? Either he needs to be shorter to step in, or in this case Marcelino is very short as in distance to keep pressure. So this player gets all the time to play the ball. Look at Marcelino already stopped. So that's the point where I'm give Hyderabad get a lot of time to do those build-ups. You can see also on the side that the right winger is already making a move, and here you see a short pass in this sequence where the right wing back is going to go up. So that means in this case Onwu needs to follow. You can see that here when they start running, and then you get the overlap. This overlap stopped here, and but I want to show that if Onwu has to do this during the course of the game many times, he's a striker. He's a real striker. He's not a winger. So I think that's a mismatch there. And you see here example number 2. That was more again towards the end of the game. Exactly the same situation where the striker here is going to press. You see here the ball is going to play into the midfield. And what do you see? Onwu steps in. The striker steps in. And of course Marcelino is not doing too much of pressing. And this player again, number 6, gets all the time to play the ball. Onwu has to start following the right wing back. As I said, Marcelino is already stopping, and you get here the sequence of the overlap. Onwu has to follow, and they even end up all the way in the box where Onwu has to take this ball. So what I want to show here is the position of Onwu on the wing is, in my opinion, not a good option to do. Does that mean Onwu has to be lazy? No, of course not. But he is not a winger, and this is purely my opinion. Is not a fitting puzzle. Having said that, with the Marcelino playing behind the striker, not giving too much press, you will need a 4 line. That means the left winger, the left midfielder, the right midfielder, and the right winger. They need to be defensively way stronger, because Hyderabad got a lot of chance to do that build-up without too much problems. All right, what led up to the penalty? Same situation here, where Onwu himself got the ball as a winger. What you see many times in this situation is he's checking who is free, but most of the time in the left corner of your eye, in the left angle, you don't see what's happening there, so you will never have to take that risk to play this ball because you don't see it. In this case, Holy Charon picked up this ball, and that led to the attack and the penalty. According to the rules, this is a penalty, but to me, the defender has no other option than go try to tackle, and his arm is in the way, but that's another discussion. So either it's spot on penalty or not, we leave that aside for now. Issue number 2 for Odisha, I keep very short, is basically what they were doing. They had to play with 2 Indian midfielders, young, inexperienced, and they were not asking for the ball too much, and they were not used too much. So it resulted in a lot of long play, deep play. And then in my opinion, then you will not include Marcelino. If from the back you don't have any build-up, then there will not be any moment that Marcelino get the ball and use his qualities. That is very easy to sum up. So I will go back here. If you don't do any build-up, because those 2 midfielders, they don't connect, or maybe the center backs were scared to play to him, they start playing long balls, and then Marcelino will not every time start running into corners, or even if those passes, those long balls are wrong, he will not get the ball too much, and that led to that in this case Odisha did not play any football. Hyderabad, I already explained, good performance, great striker they have, but also due to lack of organization, in my opinion, for the wrong setup, in my opinion, for Odisha led also to Hyderabad had a little bit more chance to play football. All right, see you at the next one.